Hello everyone, very good evening. Welcome to All Aboard. My name is Varsha Timan, and here I am in front of you with our very important ARD current affairs session. So, in this particular session, we will cover the current affair events from 8th of November till 14th of November 2025. And this session is very important for all those aspirants who are targeting NABARD Grade A examination for the year 2025, right? So the aspirants who are in the session, please let me know that the voice is clearly audible to you guys and the screen is also clearly visible, right? Yeah. So let's start our today's very important discussion. Okay. So before going forward, the aspirants, what you can do if you are not having the Ollywood application installed in your mobile phone, go and install the application of Ollywood in your mobile phone. One thing. And another thing is, this is a crash course. You can be the part of this crash course if you haven't enrolled in any such batch till date. This batch will help you to cover all the portions of your NABARD grade examination before examination. Okay, so be the part of this batch and start your preparations with us. Yeah. Very good evening, SP. Very good evening to you. Yeah. So there are so many important events. If we talk about the number of events, so number of events held in the last week was less, but there are so many important things that we have to discuss about the events that happen. Okay, so in this particular video, I'll tell you about all these things. Yeah. Batches in English only, yeah, SP, yeah, crash course for SEBI is in English language, or like most of the batches that we are having on the application of Ollywood, they are in English language. But if you request for certain things to explain in Hindi, we can do that. But mostly the things that we provide to you are in English language. Okay. So this is the first event that happened. Let's talk about this particular event. So India reaffirms commitment to equitable climate actions at Leaders Summit. So this is very important to know. Like recently, we have the United Nation. Just a second. We have the United Nation Framework Convention for Climate Change. Okay, and that is a conference of parties 30. Where where it is going on? It is going on it in Belém, Brazil. Right, so it is going on in Belém, Brazil. So India reaffirms that. Hmm, yeah, like most of the students prefer to have the classes in English now. That's why, like we are supposed to explain the things in English. But if you will say that this certain point that you want have to have in bilingual, so we'll do like what, but for the certain portion only. Like most of the lectures will be in the English language. Okay, chalo. So you can see that we reaffirm commitment to equitable climate change at Leaders Summit. So first thing that you should know where the Conference of Parties 30 is going on. So it is going on at Belém 2000, Belém, Brazil. Now, with this point, I want to tell you one important thing. Like was a Conference of Parties or the Earth Summit held. You know about it? Earth Summit, which was held in 1992, where in Rio de Janeiro, which is also in Rio de Janeiro, from where the things actually begin, that was also held in the Brazil. Okay, so it is considered that now we have completed successfully the 33 years of this particular conference of parties or the one of its type. Okay, Earth Summit. So we'll discuss about it also. So the ambassador of India to Brazil, his name is Shri Dinesh Bhatia. One important point. Another is so the time period for which this 30th conference of parties will held, it will held from 10th of November till 21st of November 2025. Another important point to learn. Okay, and as we know that conference of parties that held in 2015, you know about the Paris Agreement, where most of the countries agree that we will consider our responsibilities, and most of the countries decided that how they will do their efforts to reduce the carbon emission judicially. There was some INDC decided by the different countries. Okay, so if we talk about this conference of party, okay, which is going to held in the year 2025, so we had covered the 10 years of this conference of parties, and there are some measurable changes occurred during this time period of 10 years. Like most of the countries, they started considering their responsibilities towards the climate change and started taking steps in the direction so that we can reduce the emission of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Okay, one important point to note. Another is, so yeah, this is very important thing like mentioned here. It is also an opportunity to celebrate the legacy of the Rio Summit, which I had mentioned here. This is also known as the Earth Summit or Rio Summit, where the principle of, so during that the principle of equity comes in. So principle of equity says that like all the member countries, whether they are the developing countries or the developed countries, they have to come forward. If we are causing harm to the nature, if we are causing harm to the climate, we have to come forward to uh, show our share, like how we can help our climate to fight back with these changes which are not desirable by the living beings who are residing on the planet Earth. Okay. And this CBDRRC, we'll talk about this. Please mention this point here. We'll talk about this particular concept at the end of this topic. Okay, were adopted, laying the foundation for the international climate regime, including the Paris Agreement. Okay, so first time this concept came arise in the year 2015, and now in the year 2025 we are celebrating the 10 years of Conference of Parties 15. Okay, we'll talk about all these. Now let's talk about the another important point related to this Conference of Parties 31 is, so India welcomes, so Brazil, so whenever there is such a conference of parties occur, okay, the different nations who participate during this conference of parties, they come forward with certain ideas. For example, we discuss about the international big cat alliances that was proposed by India when we discuss about the United Nations Forest Forum. We discuss about the International Solar Alliance concept given by India. So similarly, when this conference of parties held, okay, Brazil come forward with an initiative that we are working to establish the Tropical Forest Forever Facility. Tropical Forest Forever Facility. As we all know that Amazon rainforests are in Brazil, and most of the tropical rainforests are there in the Brazil. So they come forward with this initiative, recognizing it as a significant step towards collective and sustained global action for the preservation of tropical forest. Okay. So they come forward with this initiative, and the main agenda to come forward with this initiative is we need to preserve the tropical forest, as every year we are observing that the biodiversity of these tropical forests are decreasing because of the human encroachment in these forest areas. So there is a need arises to take some specific measures or to take some initiatives so that we can preserve the biodiversity of these tropical forest areas. And India also become the part of this initiative, and India joined this facility as an observer. Like whatever the initiative, whatever the actions the Brazil will take in this regard, India will observe it. Okay, so this is important. Now, between 2020, 2005 to 2020, okay, so as we are there, so we need to represent ourselves. We need to talk about the positive side of us, like what kind of measures we had taken. As whenever we are in this leader summit and we got a turn to address the other delegates there, we have to tell about our positive point, like what kind of achievements we had and what we changed in the time period, so that we other peoples will came to know about our change models. Okay, like what are the things we are focusing upon. So between the year 2005 and 2020, India reduced the emission intensity of GDP by 36%, and this trend continues. Like we are on a better side now. Non-fossil power now accounts for over 30%, sorry, 50% of our installed capacity, enabling the country to reach the revised nationally determined target 5 years ahead of schedule. Okay, so we like we are moving towards the more sustainable side. Okay, Another point, the statement further underscored India's expansion of forest and tree cover. Okay, as you can see the reports, India State of Forest reports, and we are observing that the data is changing and we are now moving towards the positive side. So it was also mentioned that the additional carbon sink of 2.29 billion tons of carbon dioxide equivalent created between 2005 and 2021, along with India's emergence as the world's third largest producer of renewable energy with nearly 200 gigawatts of installed renewable capacities. So we had emerged as a third largest producer of renewable energy. Okay, so that means we are moving in the lane. We are moving towards like installation of certain system where the renewable energy sources will be on the priorities. Like we are moving, we are shifting from the fossil fuels. We are shifting from the fossil fuels towards the non-fossil power sources. Non-fossil power sources like the we are having the solar panels, we are installing the wind plants, we are having the hydroelectric power plants. So it is showing our commitments to the targets that we give to ourselves during the Paris summit and during the different conference of parties held. Okay, from the time being, right? So this is important, and we come forward with a global initiative, that is the International Solar Alliance. So we are the first that come forward with this initiative. We are having the headquarter of the International Solar Alliances in Haryana, India. Now unites over 120 countries and promotes affordable solar energy and South-South collaboration. Okay, so we are collaborating with the different countries, and we are majorly depending upon the non-fossil power sources. So this is important point, right? Is it clear to you? Now moving ahead, we have India demonstrated, and we also mentioned that if any such project come in between where we can collab with any nation to find the solution for all the carbon emissions or the greenhouse gas emissions, and the specific measures that will help us to move in a direction of sustainability, we are always ready to enter in this collaborate in all these collaborations. Okay, because transition to sustainability in ways that are ambitious, so the specific project where we are uh, keenly showing our interest to enter, they should be ambitious, they should be inclusive, fair, equitable, and based on the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities and respective capabilities and national circumstances. Okay, this is all about this particular news article. Is it clear? Okay, so you should know about that particular conference of parties 30 where it was held, and what are our commitments toward it and how much we had achieved. So this will help you to write a good descriptive answer if you have any descriptive answer from the topic of climate change, or if you have any question of general awareness like where the conference of party 30 is going on, so you can mention it is in Brazil. Okay, now, moving ahead, the government of India takes significant step to strengthen small scale fisheries cooperatives and fish farmers and promotion organizations. See, if we talk about the union budget of the year 2025-26, we specifically mention that this is a time we need to exploit the potential of the water bodies or the marine resources. Okay, like we need to work upon the exclusive economic zones. So that's why government come forward like the farmers, the fish farmers, or the people who are living in the coastal areas whose main livelihood is dependent upon the fishery practices. Okay, we need to come forward with some specific measures so that they will get some financial support that will be needed, and we need to harness the maximum potential, and we need to utilize all these resources to the best of them so that we will come forward in a very advanced manner, and we will represent ourselves in the fishery sector globally. Okay, so let's talk about some initiatives that are taken by our country in this regard. Let's talk about it. Although this is a very important and like there are so many important things about this particular news article. Okay, and I'm going to discuss about everything in detail here. Okay, so this is a very important topic. So let's talk about it. Yeah. So in a major step towards realizing the vision of a prosperous and inclusive blue revolution, blue economy, you know that, blue revolution, we know that, like this was a revolution that come forward to increase the production that we are having from the water body. Okay, now we are talking about the vision of blue economy. Okay, so Government of India on 4th of November 2025 has notified the rules. So on 4th of November, government come forward with certain rules. As per the rules for sustainable harnessing of fisheries in the exclusive economic. Okay, so these rules should be considered when you are about to do the fishery practices in the exclusive economic zones. Okay, so that we can get the maximum output from from this exclusive economic zone. And this particular initiative of sustainable harnessing of fisheries, this initiative was actually carried forward by our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, and as I already mentioned in the union budget of this year, he mentioned that now the time has arisen. We need to uh, unlock the untapped potential of India's marine sector. Okay, so this is a very good time to work upon our marine sector so that whatever the potential we are holding in our marine sector, we will come out. We will come out of it on the global scale, and we can show the world that yeah, we can do best in the globe. We can do best in the marine sector. Okay, so that is to show like we are doing best in the marine sector as well. Okay, uh, and basically the specific exclusive economic zone and the high sea areas, and our major focus was on Andaman and Nicobar and the Lakshadweep Island. Okay, we need to harness the untapped potential of these areas, these marine areas. Right now, empowering cooperatives and community-led. So whenever we have to enter any new sector, for example, if we talk about years back, uh, when when we started thinking about the farmers and we had an objective in our mind, like we need to take some steps so that we can double the incomes of the farmer. We come forward with the schemes like Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. We come forward with the schemes which will help in doubling the incomes of the farmers so that farmers will be capable of getting the good amount of output from the crops that they are growing. Okay, we have the revised MSP every year so that the farmers will not fall into the trap of the money lenders, and they will get the good amount of money for the crops that they grow in that particular season. So similarly, now the need arises to boost the potential and boost the confidence of the individuals who are majorly dependent upon the marine sector, okay, or the fishery sector. So the first initiative the government take in this direction is empowering the cooperatives and community led models. Okay, so let's talk about it. So the rules give priority. So here we are talking about the rules which are basically come forward to harness the sustainably develop this exclusive economic. So the rules give priority to fishermen, cooperative societies, and fish farmer producer organizations. Okay, that they can undergo deep sea fishing operations and managing technologically advanced vessels. Okay, like obviously these are the individuals who are directly connected with the coastal areas. Na? So as per these rules, priorities are given to the individuals who are actually directly connected with the marine water body. Okay, and this exclusive economic zone rules will not only facilitate, so they will not only allow them to do the deep sea fishing, they will also provide them with the advanced facilities, contribute to enhancing seafood export. Okay, so when they will extract the seafood from these water bodies, okay, they need the help so that these seafood can be exported to some other countries. We will help them to provide all these facilities like by emphasizing the value addition, traceability, and certification so that the process will be easy for them. Okay, the process will become easy for them. Another is the initiative is expected. So that's how when the government will interfere in this specific sector, to empower the cooperatives, okay, so it will open new horizon for Indian marine sector, Indian marine fishery sector through the creation of modern infrastructure and the introduction of the mother and child vessel concept, allowing mid-sea transshipment under an effective monitoring mechanism of the Reserve Bank of India regulations. Okay, so this is also the important advantage of this initiative. Like the farmers, like the fish farmers, will get all the needed supports. Okay, so that they can get the maximum output by doing the fishery practices which they were doing year long, but they were not getting the good outputs before. Okay, now in inland regions of Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Lakshadweep, which together accounts for 49% of India's exclusive economic zone areas, the use of mother and child vessels will give boost to the export of high quality fish. So as like when a child is in his initial years, you need to take extra care. Okay, you need to provide them all the extra facilities so that they can emerge out as a good growing or developed kid. So similarly, the fishermen's. Okay, these cooperative sectors will help the fishermen to find out their exact potential and what kind of initiatives they will be needed in the initial year. All these will be provided to them with the help of this empowering cooperatives and community led model. Okay, now moving ahead, let's talk about the another important initiative in this direction. We have the comprehensive support and capacity building. Okay, so government will also provide the comprehensive support like you need now, like you are earlier also you were in the specific sector, but you are having the traditional tools, you know about the traditional method. You are not aware about the new technologies, okay? Whatever the outputs you're obtaining from the marine bodies, you are just selling it to the local markets and you are earning some nominal amount. So now the government is coming forward with some comprehensive support. Okay, so this will help the farmers and the support, and they're also having the capacity building programs where the farmers will be trained about the new technologies. International exposure visits will held, and capacity building initiatives will be taken where the farmers will be told about, or we will teach the farmers about the post harvesting practices, value addition practices, marketing, how they can do the marketing, branding, and export of the commodities that they're obtaining from the water body. Okay, and with this access to easy and affordable credit. So as like we have the Kisan credit card where the financial assistance is provided to the Kisan so that they can buy the basic input and they can do their agriculture practices smoothly. So similarly, we have Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. We are having fisheries and aquaculture infrastructure development fund. With the help of these funds, farmers can develop the infrastructures where they can do the post-harvesting practices, processing units they can establish the value addition chains or the supply chains. Okay, and as per this scheme they will get the financial assistance. So we are coming forward with this approach so that the farmers will feel like yeah, this sector can help them to get the maximum output. They don't need to switch to some other livelihood means. Okay, so this is here. Another is curbing harmful practices, promoting sustainable fishing and mariculture. So, yeah, when you are having nothing in your hand, you can go for any harmful practices also because you have only one. Like you can use a net, fishing net, which can even damage the fishes, which can even cause disaster or problem to the fishes that you are capturing. Okay, so with this initiative, you will be provided, you will be trained how you can use some specific measures so that you can capture the fill and it will not cause any damage to the other animals who are living in the water bodies. You might have heard about the cases that the fisher farmers when they go for capturing the fishes from the water bodies, so sometimes that happen like the turtles and other aquatic animals, they also entered into the trap that they basically go for catching the fishes. Okay, because of which sometimes it happened like their some parts of the body got damaged and that is creating a threat to them. Okay, so now with this initiative government will tell them like what are the specific fish capturing methods that they should use so that it will not cause any harm to the other lives present in the water bodies. Okay, so this exclusive economic zone rules take a firm stand against harmful fishing practices like farmers are using the LED light fishing, pair trawling, bull trawling. Okay, so like these harmful fishing practices should be like they should not be eliminated, okay, so that the marine ecosystem will be protected and ensure equitable fishing opportunity. Like all the fishermen who are dependent upon these fishing practices, they all get the good opportunities to do that. Okay, and to conserve the biodiversity, a minimum legal size for fish species will also be prescribed, and fisheries management plans will be developed, and that will be developed with the stakeholders who are dealing in them. Like it will like whatever the new plans will be established, the state governments will be considered while making the plans, so that we can restore the declining fish stock, and there should be a legal size. Okay, this is a size, this is a fishing net should be used for the fishing practices, so that the other animals will not fall into the trap, and we that's how we can protect the marine ecosystem. Okay. Another is mariculture practices like sea cage farming, seaweed cultivation, that is need to be promoted. Okay, because they can act as an alternate livelihood means. Okay, and what happen, like if the farmers, if the fish farmers will have alternate source of income, what will happen? Like they will not over exploit the resources that they are having, and that's how the pressure on the fishing will be reduced to a certain level, and that will help in increasing the production without compromising environmental integrity. Okay, like everyone wants to take the benefit, but nobody wants to look at the other harmful effects that it can cause. Okay, so that's why we are looking for some alternate measures, so that all the individuals who are dependent upon the fishery practices or who are living in the coastal areas, they will have something in their hand to do. They will not chase the same thing. They will have different alternatives on which they can depend for their livelihood measures. Is it clear? Is it clear to you guys? Another important point is digital and transparent access pass mechanism for exclusive economic zone operations. So nowadays, what we have the Aadhaar cards. Okay, these Aadhaar cards, our ID card. So similarly, the farmers who wants to do the fishing practices in the exclusive economic zone areas, they should have the access pass. They should have the access pass. If they have the access pass, then only they can run the mechanized and large size motorized vessels in these zone areas. Okay? If they are not having this access pass, they will not be allowed to do the fishing practices in this exclusive economic zone. Okay, and you can obtain this access pass free of cost from the online real craft portal. So there's a specific portal where all the uh, like digitalization of the things will occur, and you can get the pass from there. And yeah, and one important thing, like all the traditional farmers or the small scale farmers who are living in nearby areas whose main occupation is doing the fishing practices, they don't need to take any license or any access card from the real craft portal. They can do the fishing practices because they are doing it for their subsistence needs only. They are not doing it on a commercial scale. So that's why it is allowed to them that they can do the fishing practices without taking any license. Okay, and this system of taking the license is completely digitalized, so it is more transparent. Okay, and it allow the boat owners to apply with minimal documentation, track applications in real time, and complete the process conveniently without visiting the office. So this makes the entire process fast, right? And foreign fishing vessels are not allowed to get the access. Only the Indian national fishing vessels, they will get the access pass, and they are also only allowed to do the different fishing operations that they want to do in the exclusive economic zone. So this is also mentioned in this new rule book. Okay, so this is important. Give me a thumbs up if you are getting all these points. Now we are about to move. Yeah. Are fishermen eligible? Yeah, fishermen are eligible for Kishan credit card. We discussed about it in one of the session. Earlier they were not allowed to enter in this, but now they are also having the minimum of 5 lakh. Okay, the Kisan credit limits. Okay, so as a Kisan credit card scheme was primarily, I think it in 2018, but that time the fish farmers were not considered Christian, but now the fish farmers are also eligible for Kisan credit. They can also get the credits, and they can utilize the credit for the for to supplement the different financial needs that they have. Yeah. Now we have Let's talk about the real craft. So what is that real craft? This is an online portal from where what you can get the access. Okay, you can get the access of this passes which you can use to enter inside the exclusive economic zone so that you can do the fishing operations there, right? And it is being integrated with Marine Product Export Development Authority and the Export Inspection Council for issuance of fish catch and health certificates, which are key requirements for exporting seafood to premium. So when you have to export, like you are you are obtaining some seafood from any specific area and you want to send it to the global markets or the international markets, your food have to obtain a fish catch and health certificate. So this certificate is issued basically for this you need to have this real craft data, or you need to be registered on the real craft this online portal. And this integrated digital system ensures end-to-end traceability, sanitary compliance, and eco-labeling, thereby enhancing the global competitiveness of Indian marine products. Like when you get this certificate, so your products will be uh, now uh, ready to be exhibit in the global markets, right? Another thing is regulatory reforms, sea safety and coastal security. Why there is a need to have these rules for the exclusive economic zone, so that there will be sea safety will be considered and coastal security will be there. Okay? So these rules are being significant reforms that fish resources originated from the Indian exclusive zones beyond contiguous zone to be recognized. So they will be recognized as Indian origin under revenue and custom norms. Okay, so that it is not treated as import while landing at the Indian port. It can be duly accounted under the Indian exchequer while exporting to other countries. So when you are obtaining any such food from these exclusive economic zones of India, they will get a tag of that they are originated in India and they are exported from. So that's why also these reforms in the rules are needed. Another, additionally, in order to protect, like they are the small farmers, okay, who depends upon these fishing practices. So these rules provide for framing a national plan of action on illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing to deter illegal fishing practices in Indian exclusive zone. As I mentioned, that the small farmers they don't need to get this access part, but if there is any such practices which are going on in this exclusive economic zone, which is illegal, which is unreported, which is unregulated, okay, that will come into the picture, and we can take specific measures to protect the small farmers from them. Please mention that what is IU, that is illegal, unreported, and unregulated. I think there was some question related to this. I don't know in which particular exam, but it was somehow asked in any exam. I think in the year 2023 or 2000. Might be in the exam of FSSAI. Okay, that for the CFSO, this question was there next. This is important. By providing, so when there will be mandatory use of, by providing mandatory use of transponders, the safety and the security of fishermen and fishing vessel is ensured in the deep sea. Okay, and this fishermen and fishing vessels identification is ensured, so there should be a QR coded Aadhaar card or fisher ID card that you should have this. Okay, so whenever the security personnel asks for your identity, you have this. Okay, and this will help you to not fall into the trap of illegal practices, right? So this real craft application has been integrated with Nab Mitra application, which is being used by the fishermen for safe navigation and operations of transponders. So Nab Mitra, this is important. This is an application basically the fishermen use to navigate, right? And this will help the marine enforcement agencies, including the Indian Coast Guard and Indian Navy, to strengthen coastal security aspects as well, right? So this is all about it. I think the points are clear, right? And now I'm also mentioning some important points from the union budget, which form the background why we are focusing. Like recently, we have the marine fishery sunsets. I'll take a specific session related to that also, so that the things will be clear to you, right? So let's talk about it. So, if we talk about the coastline, so we are having a coastline of over 11,099 kilometers and the exclusive economic zone of more than 23 lakh square kilometers. And that is providing livelihood to more than 50 lakh fishermen community over 13 maritime states and unions. There is a need to protect it, right? And the marine fisheries, it is actually a major component that is contributing to the country's blue economy. Okay, like we are obtaining the seafood from there, we are exporting it to the other country, and that's how it is helping us in earning the good economy from there. So this marine fishes is a major contributor of blue economy. So that's why there's a need arises to have some specific steps to boost it up. Okay, and that's why we mentioned in our union budget that now the time has come, we have to untap the unexploited potential of this exclusive economic zone. Okay, so countries like Sri Lanka, Maldives, Indonesia, Iran, European countries, they are presently catching substantial quantities of tuna fishes. You know about the tuna fishes? They are obtaining it in the Indian Ocean region, while the Indian fishing fleets had been limited to the near shore waters and lagging behind before notification of the new exclusive economic zone rules on sustainable harvesting of. Okay, like these countries are obtaining the tuna fishes from Indian Ocean regions and they are getting the economic boost because of this. Like why we are not coming forward in this direction? So that's why the need arises to have this new exclusive economic zone so that we can also untap the potential. Okay, we can also untap the good potential of this marine sector, right? Now the budget announcement. So yeah, this is a budget announcement, and as per this, we are the second largest globally in fish production and aquaculture. Okay, and the seafood exporter value to rupees 60,000 crore. Now the need arises to untap the potential of the marine sector and majorly of the Indian exclusive economic zones and the high seas of Andaman and Nicobar and the Lakshadweep. So lastly, let's talk about the Real Craft portal. This is very important. So this portal is developed by the Department of Fisheries. Okay, we talk about it is basically managed by AMPEDA. Okay, the data is needed by AMPEDA, and at present there are 2.38 lakh fishing vessels across 13 coastal states and union territories, which are registered on this portal. Okay, and apart from that, there are 1.32 lakh motorized boats, 40,461 non-motorized traditional crafts which are registered on this portal. Okay, and a total of 64,187 mechanized fishing vessels will be required to obtain access pass, and they are working in the direction that they will get the access pass for exclusive economy. Right? This is important about this news article. Now we are moving on to another important news article. So we know that recently what is happening in, you guys are aware about that. We're all talking about air quality index. Okay, like the recent data. However, the data that we're about to discuss now, they somewhat fabricated. But let's talk about it. Like most of the time, when we observe that the air quality of Delhi NCR region is poor, we usually target the states where the harvesting season of the rabi crops occur. The stubble burning is considered as one of the reason for the for the poor quality of airs in the Delhi NCR and the nearby areas. Okay, so so by considering all these points, okay, and by having the knowledge of another important, now we come forward with some proactive measures. Proactive measures, what are they? Like before any action happen, like we started taking some actions by considering the points that we are aware about a specific thing. Okay, proactive measures, like this is a specific action that is going to happen, like before the action will occur, we started to take some measures so that we can reduce the occurrence of anything which can cause a great harm to the life of the people. Okay, so proactive measures taken by CAQM to contain air pollution. Okay, so this is a very important news article. So the, if we look at the air quality index of Delhi, although it is, if we talk about the November month, it is high. It has crossed the limit of 500. some places. But if you look at the average value of the air quality index, that is from 1st of January till 9th of November 2025, has been recorded 170. Okay. And which was, and in the last year, the same period, the last year, the air quality index value was 180. If we look at the concentration of particulate matter 2.5 in the air, that is 75 microgram per meter. And if we look at the value of particulate matter 10, okay, which is having the diameter of 10 mm, its value is 170 microgram per meter cube. Okay, and if we look at the value of the last year, so for particulate matter 2.5, it was 87 microgram per meter cube, and for the particulate matter 10, it was 191 microgram per meter. Okay, so these are the values. Now the decline in farm power incidents. So we are, as per this data, we are at a good um, level now. So what is the reason that now we had declined the incidences? Now we had reached a like adjustable value of air quality index in this meantime, because the incidences of farm fire has declined. Okay, so this year from 15th of September till 9th of November, Punjab recorded 4,602 fire incidents. Or if we look at the fire incidents that happened in the last year, it was 6,266. So we observed a decline of 35.2%. Okay. And Haryana registered only 333 fire account this year. Last year it was 959, so we can say that it was reduced to 65.3%. Okay, so all these are considered as a reason because of which the air pollution is quite less here. The Commission for Air, the Commission for Air Quality Management, which is in the NCR, National Capital Region, and the adjoining areas, is actively reviewing on-ground situations with senior officers of the state governments of Punjab and Haryana and other state agencies. And this is to ensure that now there are certain strict measures are taken, okay, so that the stubble burning issue will be tackled well. And now we observe the less number of incidences of stubble burning, and that is also the reason that this year we are having very less uh, the air pollution is quite less as per the data that we are observing here. Now, municipal solid waste management. Now, let's talk about another important news article here. So, that is municipal solid waste management. So, legacy waste processing has advanced steadily with over 23 lakh tons of dump site waste biomined in Delhi. An additional waste to energy capacity of about 7,000 tons per day and 750 tons per day of bio CNG or CBG capacity has been developed. That's how we are managing the solid waste. Okay, and parallel efforts is going on in the Delhi NCR regions like in Gurugram, Noida, Greater Noida, Faridabad, Ghaziabad. Okay, and that's how that is towards a complete liquidation of legacy waste so that the solid waste will be completely liquefied. Okay, we are working in the direction so that we will liquefy the solid waste that we are having. In addition to infrastructure augmentation, CAQM has directed the installation of CCTV cameras, methane detectors, fire suspension system, PPE for workers at landfill sites so that the fire and the emission sites will be prevented. And in June 2025, CAQM has directed for zero tolerance for if there will be open waste burning, will not tolerate it and will take specific measures if we found it. So this is for the municipal solid waste management. Another is the GRAP stage 1 and 2 course in Delhi NCR. Okay, so based on the dynamic model and the weather, meteorological, air quality forecast by IITM, measures under stage 1, stage 2 of the graded response action plan are in force in the entire NCR. Several proactive and preventive steps are being implemented by the concerned agencies, okay, so that the further deterioration. Okay, so these are certain points you can go through them, although they are not so important, but as headings are important. What are the specific measures that we took so that we can control the air pollution? We can regulate That could be a good word. Okay, so one such is the stubble burning incidences has declined. We took specific measures to manage the solid waste. Okay, and other than is grab stage one and stage two are enforced in Delhi NCR. We have uh, tackled the vehicular emissions at the sources. So this is one such incident. Okay, some specific measures issues are there. Like intercity buses, they are basically working on the cleaner mode. Like we have the EV. So yesterday I read a news that now will have the EV buses that will run from Delhi to Sonipat. Okay, so we are taking specific measures to move towards the zero carbon dioxide emission models. Okay, we are shifting towards the electric vehicles. So that can be a case. Since earlier, another measures like we are working on having this EV for interstate buses also. Okay, most of the areas we are having that, and the entry of BS third and below commercial good vehicles into Delhi has been banned with effect from 1st of November 2020, except those registered in Delhi. Okay, only CNG and electric three-wheeler or auto rickshaws are being permitted for induction in the existing fleets of vehicle aggregators. So these are specific measures. Another one is the industrial and construction sector compliances. Okay, that complete transition to cleaner fuel and stricter emission norms in the industrial sector. Out of 240 industrial areas in NCR, PNG infrastructure is now available in 224, and over 96% of industries have already shifted to approved fuels. Now they are not allowed to use the fuel that is causing a lot of atmosphere. Okay, and for this, the Commission has constituted a dedicated OCEMS cell for that to track the real time source emissions. Okay, and when you know about the real time source emission, like you exactly know about the location of a specific incident, you can take specific measures against them, right? So these are certain ways. Another is all the construction sites with plot areas above 500 square meters. Now they require to register on web portals managed by the respective state pollution control and DPCC. Okay, they have to mention like what type of fuels they are emitting and how they are causing. So they should be properly registered there, right? So these are the specific measures, and effort are also undergo to augment C&D waste processing capacities to match daily waste generations and to promote the use of recycled materials in construction. Like whatever the constructions work on, there should the recycled material to be used there. Okay? So these are specific measures. Another one is a greening in plant. Although we are discussing it at the end of the specific portion, but it is one of the very important. Now, if there will be afforestation, or now we have this national afforestation program, if there will be proper afforestations, greening, and the plantation, so what they will help in the sequestration of. So in the year 2050, 2025, 26, like as per the Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam, and there are some other initiatives also. We had planted itna crore saplings, right? And the commission emphasized the creation of urban forests like the Miyawaki technique, development of green buffers along industrial belts, and the use of treated wastewater. Okay, and in this, like we are collaborating with the schools, Rava, and other public institutions. Okay, we are organizing the plantation drives, reinforcing collective ownerships for a cleaner. Another is a close monitoring. So whatever the measures we are taking to to regulate the air pollution, okay, we need to go for the close monitoring. Na? Like these are specific measures we are announcing, and we are not closely monitoring the results or closely monitoring the things that are actually happening. So how could we know that these are things are exactly happening or not? There's a need to have the close monitoring of all the actions. Okay. So the state pollution control boards and the committees of NCR and urban local bodies, they have to take a check on them. The timely implementation of statutory directions will be there, right? This is all about the important news articles. So there are three important news that happened in the last week, and we discussed about. Although there are some other news also, but they are not so relevant. That's why I didn't included the points. I included these newses because these newses will also help you in framing the good answers for the descriptive answer writing. Although the news of fishery sector, the marine sector is very important. Like I can assure you that you will definitely have the question from the marine sector in your exam. Like two or three questions will definitely be there in the phase one examination. Because if we talk about the complete year news articles after the union budget, always there was a hype of marine sector. Like what kind of specific measures we can take so that the marine sector will boost. We can take out the maximum output from there. Okay. So marine sector is very important. And here I'm about to end the session for today. If you have any query, you can drop in the comment box. This is a crash course aspirant available to you. You can be the part of this crash course, and that's how you can start a preparation. And if you have any query, anything to ask, you can drop your comments. Okay, I'll make sure that your all doubts and queries will be covered on time. Yeah, yeah. Which is good batch for SEBI? Yes, SP SEBI. The SEBI exam will be in the January month. No? Yeah, so the batch that is currently going on, you can take admission in the currently going on batch as well. Okay, that is important. Yeah. See, I tell you one thing that whichever batch you will take admission, you will be provided with the live classes. Okay, you will be provided with the live classes. There is nothing like recorded, like for the major subjects. If I'll say there will be nothing like recorded session for the major subjects. So, if you want to start from the very beginning, the currently going batch, the running batch, you can enroll in that particular batch, and that's how you can do your preparation. Or you can take the help of the counselor also to know, right? If I'm not wrong, if I'm check 1.0 or 2.0, which one is currently going? Take admission in the batch which is running now. Uh, this batch is about to begin now, the 2.0 batch. If you are starting, you're about to start from the very beginning, yeah, you can take admission in this live crash course 2.0. Okay, this live crash course 2.0, you can take admission in this one. We are having the live classes in this now. What rest is you can take, yeah, rest is you can take the help of the counselor related to this. Okay. Yeah, management classes, I'm taking live classes, I'm taking in this batch. So definitely you will get the access to the live classes. There you can ask your doubts, right? And you can connect with me on my Telegram also. Okay, guys, you can connect with me on my Telegram also. If you have any doubt or any query, you can ask there as well. This is my Telegram, right? So here I'm ending the session for now. We'll meet in the next class. All the very best. Yeah, tomorrow also you guys will have the classes for the decision making. You will have the class tomorrow, and in the batch also you will have the classes tomorrow. Okay, so bye bye and all the very best. Take care.